So, hello, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Derek, and in this video, we're going to be looking at how to create a dashboard from scratch. And this will be for everyone, but most especially people who have some little knowledge of pivot tables. But if you don't know pivot tables, still do not worry because you'll learn one or two things. My main is taking you through how to create a simple dashboard like this one. It's very simple, like you see. It's really simple, and you can make it. Yes, you need to believe that you can do this. Okay, so I'm going to go very slow. I'm going to be very detailed. I'm not going to jump anything. Uh, so um, so this dashboard is interactive, as you can see. When you click the slices, they're communicating to each other. It's able to change based on the selections that you make. And I assume that you already have some knowledge of pivot tables. We're not going to go into much of pivot tables, but if you're still not familiar with pivot tables, you can just follow along and you grab one or two things by the end of the video. So for us to create a table, we need to press Control T, Control then T, or we can just simply insert the table by just clicking insert table. So make sure this is ticked. My table has headers. Make sure it is ticked. Then you say okay. So you can just give it another color. Okay. So in order for you to convert this back into a normal range with data, you can just go to the table design and then you convert it back to the way it was. So let's name our table. Let's call it main table. So it's important you name your tables because this will guide you in on how you're going to especially when you're going to link slices, you need to know which table you're linking to. So it's important you name your table. So our table is already named. So we need now to insert pivot tables. You just click in within the table and then go to insert tab and then you insert the pivot tables. So by default, it's selecting our table, main table. Say okay. So it will take you to another sheet. So let's name the sheet tables. So my tables. Could remove the grid lines. I don't like working with them. So the first item we're going to analyze is our region. So let's click on region. So when you click on region, it will automatically go under rows. However, you could also drag this to rows. So there are two options. You could either drag or you could just click within. So we have rows here, we have values, we have columns and filters. Now in the rows, we always advise for what goes in the rows is what will actually appear in the rows, just like you see here. It will appear in your rows. These are the rows. So what appears in the columns, in most cases, is what will appear in your columns here. So then what will appear in values, in most cases, it's your values. For example, here in my values, I would have total because I want to analyze total. So that's why I'm dragging it. Or can detect that actually that is supposed to be a value. So automatically it will put your total in values. So let's try to. So that is our first table. So we want to graph out of this. So we simply click within the table and we go to pivot table analyze, and then we click pivot chart. Now inserting a pivot chart, we're not going to insert a chart like we would do normally, like here. No, because these are just normal charts with normal Excel. But right now we're in a pivot table and we're in completely different function. So it's better you go to pivot table analyze, then you insert a pivot chart. Then I could prefer a pie chart. Then even under pie chart, I could decide to use this. Okay. Yeah, so let me use that. So let me cut this and paste it here under my dashboard. So I've already formatted my dashboard background. I've already inserted a picture. in the background. In case you don't know how to insert a picture, you just simply go to page layout, and let me first delete this, and then you make sure your background is spiced up, it looks a little bit better. So if you have a picture in your computer, you could just simply browse from a file on your computer. If you have a picture on your OneDrive, you could just go there, but normally I go to Bing image search on internet, and I type in what I want. Type in solid gray. Just you can type in any color, anything you want, really, any background you want, selecting this and that. Sometimes when the cells move, then your data, your formatting also moves. So it's better use pictures because nothing will affect the picture. It's kind of static, so nothing will affect it. So this is our graph. We can change its layout by going to the format. No, we're going to design. Then we change its layout here. Put the percentage. So then we can hide these fields. Normally we just click hide all the fields. Okay, so that's our first graph. Okay, can give it a title, maybe sales by region. Sorry, sales by region. Of course, you can change the colors. The colors are not really by default. You can change the colors. Let's change the colors to what we want. Remember, I showed you my colors here. The colors I'm using for this. These are my colors. Are the ones I'm using for this particular dashboard. I know they are quite shouting, but I'm just using them for this dashboard. So central, let's go for blue. Then east, let's go for, okay, that should be okay. Then for west, then we got to go for that. Oh, sorry. So we need to you need to double click within that slice of the pie chart to be able to format the pie chart very well. You need to double click in there to make sure that, okay, I think it has accepted now. Okay, so we could change this to that. We could give this more black. So that is our sales by region, and just looks quite simple. So I don't want this background. The white background is really not coming out like the way I want it. So I could just remove the background through formatting the outline, and then I say I don't want the background. Okay, even the outline, I don't really want the outline. So colleagues, we are just doing this step by step. You be patient. For those who are already familiar with pivot tables, this will seem a little bit slow for you, so don't take it by heart. Just follow along. We're just creating a dashboard to learn. So you simply copy this and paste. You don't have to go again to the database and then you insert, and no, you don't do that. Just simply, Microsoft has made it easy. Microsoft Excel has made it easy for you to actually copy and paste, and use the pivot analyze function and also the field list. You could change now this from region to representative. So this will bring the representatives that are actually doing our sales. So according to this, we could just insert in another chart. This time we'll put in a bar graph, I think. Yeah, put in a column, but a horizontal one. Then we could arrange these to make sure that the highest comes on top. Okay, so we can cut this. So it's important you have to have organized tables. It's really important to have organized tables. Okay, so I'll put this here. Hide. So body chart title, body chart title. This is sales by rep, by rep, sales by rep. Okay, double click this and increase it, increase the width. It looks like reducing, but actually it's increasing up to 100. Okay, up to 100. Then click remove the grid lines, and then we add the data labels here. Okay, so that looks better, but we could reduce this further to probably 50. It would look much better at 50. Okay, so we could change the color of this to whatever I want. But for now, I'm going to just leave it like that. And once again, I do not like this. I don't like the white background. So I remove to no fill. So I'll be left with something like that. And so don't worry, we shall work on the graphics there. Shall work on this thing by slowly. So that's what we have for now. Okay, so we go to our tables again. We can copy this and then paste here. So this time, what are we looking at? We could look at the items themselves, and we could look at the items in. So this could be it could be a bar graph, it could be a pie chart. So but I'm most interested in seeing the actual figure. So I would put in a bar chart. So just cut it, and let's put it here. So right now we're just having graphs which make sense to our data. We're just copying and pasting them and try to organize them. But of course, we're going to do more organizing. We're going to do more organizing. Reduce this and increase this to 50. I'm going to use 50 as a standard, but of course you can use any size that you want. So I could do this. And with our colors here, remember we have our colors. We want things to be a little bit spiced up, and remove the grid lines. I don't work with grid lines, but of course you could leave them depending on how you want your dashboard to look like. You could just leave the grid colors, the grid lines there, and of course you could change the colors. Then this is sales by item. So here they're calling it item, so sales by item. Sales by item. So that looks great. That looks great for me. Looks great. So again, you could put in, you could spice up the labels here. You could put in, punch in more colors. You could do a lot of work with them, and yeah, they could look nice. So, but for now, we're not going to do that. I still do not want the background. So for this particular series of the dashboard, we don't want we don't want a transparent background. Okay, we don't want any fill in our chart. No, it's misbehaving. We want no fill. Then you want no fill. Okay, so it should be able to work. It should be able to work. So that is it for now. So that's what we have for now, but we are still developing our dashboard because we want it to look very, very fantastic. So we will look at something else to analyze, but for this particular series, we're not going to go into deep. We shall just now look at another aspect, which I always call very important, which is period. So the date here, the date. So let's go back to our pivot tables. Now we want to analyze our data with one of the most important things I consider in data analysis, and that is period. And we simply go to our pivot table analyze, and if you list now, we're going to change, we're going to remove item, we don't need the item. We're rather going to use order date so that we're able to tell the sales by period, so that we're able to see the spikes, the lows, and to be able to make informed decisions, and probably to be able to draw conclusions and establish causes of our spikes and then our lows. So let's click order date. So you could drag it, but I've just clicked. So when you click, automatically it will come under rows, and under rows I clicked only one data element, which is order date, but in the rows it is separating it by years, quarters, and order date. So why? Because these are dates. So when you observe very well, try to try to observe there is a small plus inside, besides the year. You could click and you see it has quarters within each year. Okay, so this one has complete quarters, this one has 3 quarters. So we could also collapse it, so you could expand it and see further. But what we're interested in is in drawing a graph that is going to be best representative of what we want to see, and to make us actually help in making informed decisions. So let's insert a pivot chart and see. So I would use in line graphs, because for trends I always like to use line graphs, and that is it. Okay, now if it, sometimes you could use this area, but it does, but depending on what you really want. So but it's not why we use this. So for trends I'll use line graphs. So that is how it will appear. It shows definitely that 2018 sales were a bit low, then the increase in 2019, then 2020 probably the pandemic came in and probably sales reduced, something like that. So but this is still not a representative of a true picture of what we really want to see, because we understand that these sales happen on a regular basis, not a yearly basis. So what do we do? I will simply right click inside here, and you ungroup. You click ungroup. Now when you click ungroup, it will bring the particular days when these orders were made, and it will look like that. But definitely it's not going to give you a feel of what you want to see, because of course there are spikes and there are lows, but we would actually want to see which particular month, because here it's a lot of mix up. You may not actually be able to spot out where and when, and so we still need to work around making sure we get a better picture of what we want to see. So we could actually group this again, but this time we would choose how we group the graph so that we're able to see particular segments of the period. So right now we can say we want to see our graph in months. Okay, you could select days, make sure you select one item. You could select months, so we don't want days. So let's select months and see. We say okay. So our data has appeared in months. Now this is close to what we want to see. But remember here, it's only bringing the months, and it's leaving out which year. It's just combining whatever happened in January. So this is also could be good. Probably want to monitor over the last 3 years, where which month do I really have low sales, and which month do I have high sales, stuff like that. So but still we want to see more than that. Okay, so we could go back here and click group. Now this time you could just use quarters, you could add on quarters, but I'm not interested in quarters. What I'm interested in is the years. So when I have two blue highlighted segments, months and years, and click OK, you see what the graph will appear like. So it will bring you, it will separate the years along the graph. So this is what exactly I wanted. So let me cut this and just come and paste it here. So could try to work around it. Yeah, so we could try to work around this and change the title, of course. We'll say trends in sales, trends in sales. So we'll hide these. I don't know how I want to work with them. So once again, you could put the data labels. I prefer putting them above, so they appear above. Of course, I don't want the grid lines. Okay, so I always prefer putting in some trend lines here. Okay, some trend lines. Then, of course, edit them. You could add a little touch on them, depending on what you really want. But okay, we're going to let's first leave them for now. So we could first also remove the background. I want it transparent, like most of our graphs will be. This isn't the case most cases. Sometimes you could just leave your graph the way it is. Really, this is just my own style. Yes, so that's okay. That's really fine. Okay. So now it's time to organize our dashboard. Now, what comes first? What comes next? That is completely up to you. There is no particular format, but of course, you need to be creative. You need to be able to organize your data so that it makes sense to the people who are going to use it. Okay, so let me try to reduce this. Okay, so I will just add one more graph. I think one more graph, and then we could just add one more graph. Then we could complete the design of a dashboard. So let's add another graph. Let's try to see what we can really analyze again. So we could look at the sale per region per item. So that is very simple. We just copy this and then paste it here. Then we could go to table analyze field list and then we add in region. So we can add region on top of item, and it will look like that. Okay, to look like that. It's not looking bad, so we can put in a pivot chart, and pivot chart will look like that. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We could just put this as well for us to have a, so cut it, then we come and paste it here. Sorry, let me paste here. So once again, we could give it a name. Is sales by item by region. Okay. Oh, I thought it had lost. We can press save so that we don't lose our data, don't lose our work. We have come a long way to lose our work. We can't afford losing it right now, please. So let's remove the grid lines. Try to increase the size of these bars to 50%, and that's okay by me. So give this graph another color, which we probably didn't. And to me, that's really fine. That's because we could remove the background like we're doing for the rest of the graphs. Remove the background. Okay, so that's okay by me for now. That's really okay. So okay, for this particular one, okay. So that is so far what we have. Now, what do I want to do? I want to make sure I give these my graphs a befitting color and a nice shape so that they really stand out from they really can stand out. So I want to go one by one to drag this to anywhere, but let me insert a shape. I'm going to insert a shape. So you may not need to insert a shape, but of course I'm trying to really show you how you can do nice looking graph. So we want to have our graph inside this shape. Okay. So how many graphs are they? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, around 5 graphs. We could have 5 of these. Okay. Have 5 of these, but before we do that, then white. Okay. And then we going to use pure white. Pure white. That's what I want. Pure white. Okay. Yep. Pure white. Of course, we don't want to put a gradient. We can remove the outline. Say no outline. Okay. Now, we could say not really. I wanted to put a gradient, but it's really may not communicate what I want. So let's use okay. I think that will work for me because okay, it's something I wanted to really show you guys, but I think that would work as well. If we copy, we cut this and paste it inside here, it will still work. It will still do for us what it will still show us what we want to see. Okay, but this color I feel I should change it to a more representing color. I really wanted to really have a very nice looking dashboard with so these are choices you have to make when you're designing these dashboards, and to me it really depends on what you really want to show people. So this is just for demonstration purposes, and you could have your own style. It really doesn't have to be this style. So copy this, then copy it here. To do that, you just simply control and then you keep moving. And so we cut this in the background, then we bring it here and then we paste it inside there. So I'm pasting each of these graphs into these little shapes so that we can have very nice looking dashboard. Okay, so again create another one. So this is the last one, I think. So this can be a lot of work, but because depending on what you want, if you want good things, you need to really invest in time. So the next thing we're going to do, now we're going to size these to make sure that it's what we actually want. So our graph is inside here. We can increase it. Okay. So we could now group. We have to group this together. Control T. You first click in the shape, and then you click in the graph. Then you right click. So click in the graph, then click on the shape, and then right click, and then it's jumping. Then right click. Okay, it's becoming stubborn. Okay. Okay. Now I think it's okay. It's being really stubborn. It's really being stubborn now. It's being stubborn, but we just click within one of the graphs and then we click the shape and then we group it. So if you move it right now, you see it's moving. It's moving all together, not like this one. This one is not moving with the graph. So let's do the same for this. We shall resize them later. Could make it a gradient and put in more and more things, but just going to say this is our sales dashboard. Just a very simple name, sales dashboard. Oh, the spelling of dashboard, there's a problem there. So we could increase the font. Okay. Sales dashboard. So that is how it would look like. Okay, and then we could put in the slicers now. Now to put input slicers, you could just click in one of the graphs, then you insert the slicer. So, oh, sorry, just make sure you click within the graph. I had clicked within the outer shape. So we could put in the region. We could put item, then we could put date is important. We could put the date as well. So these are slices. Okay, these are slices. But date, for date we don't have to put as a slicer. We might have to put date as a slicer timeline, which is here, which is insert slicer timeline and say order date. There is a way Excel treats date differently. So we could have that. Okay, could have that. Just put it right there, and then we could have the region right there. Could have the region just right there. Then we could have the item. So we could even put the representatives in our. Could put even the representatives in our slices. Okay. So could have these two items per. Oh, they are okay. Could have that. That's okay. Then we could have what else could we have? Okay. So if you like, you can move this to whatever you like. You can Can extend this here. Okay, and increase this up to here. So guys, I'm not just this is a very simple dashboard. I don't want to people to think we should have done this better, but we could of course make it look a little bit decent. Okay, this is just one of those simple dashboards that you could make on your own, and I'm doing it detail by detail because some of the challenges that you face when you are alone that you may not find actually on other YouTube videos is some are cut out, but I'm trying to show you the practical way how things just don't happen. Okay, so that is it. We could insert another slicer. We first have to click within a graph to insert a slicer, remember, and we could insert another slicer which is a representative. So I wanted to put in a representative so that we're able to also monitor that. So these slices you can also change their colors. To go with that, each of them could have a color depending. Each of them could have a color, and that is even this one could change. That color is not looking good. Okay, I think that looks good. I think that looks better. That looks better for me. So that is how you could draw a simple dashboard. Okay, so now the next step we want to do is to connect these slices to make sure that our slices actually they are working, because right now when you click on the dash, for example, it's only this graph here that changes. It's only that graph that will change. Okay, so we don't want that to happen. No, we don't want that to happen. So we want to make sure that these slices are interlinked to all the pivot tables. So let's just click all the pivot tables that are within. So report connections, and then we link all our pivot tables, put connections, and then make sure that everything is linked. Then even our timeline has to be linked. So we have linked everything right now. So we are good to go. We're good to go. So let's click central. Did we link central? Yeah. So when you click east, it will. Let me try to adjust this. Okay, let's increase the font here. It's a bit small. You may not be able to see. Just increasing for you guys to see. The font is quite small. We'll go with 12. Oh, what's happening? Okay. I'm increasing the font so that our dashboard is a little bit more visible. Okay. So honestly, that is what we could do for a simple dashboard. That is what we could do. We cannot exceed this very moment. If you've learned something and you've liked the video, please do subscribe to this channel for more and more of these videos. Of course, we're going to be doing a series of these dashboards from time to time. We're going to be advancing and learning from each other, and
please feel free to advise where you think I might have missed something already, because learning is a fast thing. You cannot know everything sometimes. So otherwise, I would like to thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to leave this very dashboard in the link below the description. You'll find it. You can download it, play with it. You'll probably understand what I did. Sometimes it's better you actually have these kind of templates, so that you don't feel like we're just doing things and we're not seeing them. So please, you could when you select the slicers, they keep changing depending on what you really want to see. See, the slicers keep changing. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope it has been really helpful to you and help you advance your level into dashboard making. It is very simple. Please take care.